to the Isn't That Rich podcast. I'm your host, Jill Franks.
And I'm Jared Gravatt.
And today's conversation is all about why we spend the way we do. Because let's be honest, we all have money habits that make total sense in our heads, but until we look back at our bank statement, it might not make as much sense.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're spending, it's not just about like dollars and cents. It's about your personality, how you see the world. Everyone's different, which means they're going to want to spend their money a little differently. So some people are savers, some people are spenders, some people don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
And some people, are big dreamers.
Exactly. Yeah. So today we're breaking those categories down. The four most common money personalities, which are what Jared just mentioned. Number one, the saver. Number two, the spender. Number three, the avoider. And number four, the dreamer.
Yeah. And what's exciting is by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly which one you are. I definitely know which one I am.
Well, mine surprised me, so I was kind of excited to take.
Okay, yeah.
Because actually, what we have planned at the end of this episode is we'll run through a quiz, and you can actually identify which one you were. And I took the quiz, and I was not what I thought I was.
I took the quiz, and I was exactly what I thought I was.
And Ashley did not take the quiz, but we identified
definitely know
which
who
one
Ashley
she
is in this as well.
So, let's get started. Yeah. The first personality, money personality, is the saver. And a saver's motivation can most often be, security and control. I feel like if you're a saver, you like to have control over the things you're spending money on. Kind of like, if I plan carefully enough, nothing bad will happen to me. So, and some of those traits of the typical saver include like they love structure, they love planning, and they love predictability.
Right.
This type of person rarely makes impulse buys, which that's not me. I make impulse buys all the time.
Me too, Jill, all the time.
I can't help it. Yeah, this person feels anxious when dipping into saving and using a credit card, which that's also not me.
Either, Jill. But if Ashley was here,
she would be like, I couldn't make my $5,000 credit card bonus.
Right.
I love it. She's going to listen to this episode and be like, you too,
yeah.
of course.
Throwing her under the bus because she's not here.
That's right. She's on vacation. So this person also constantly checks their account balance. Like if you have a savings or a checking account, you're constantly looking at that, making sure there's not one mistake or something that hit that they weren't expecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. This person has budgets. They have spreadsheets and they're good at working them. Maybe even color-coded categories. Again, not me.
I really wish.
I know.
I really wish.
I know. Every time I always start the new year, and this is probably you too, Jared, I sit down with really great intentions and I sit down and I try to make my budget or like.
Yes, no. Yeah. It lasts maybe like a week.
Yeah. Not even through the month of January. But I mean, I keep track of my spending and I never spend over but what I allow myself, but also like I kind of. Yeah. If I spend $5 on a lunch here, it's not me.
Yeah, no, I get it.
This person also feels proud of financial discipline, but can struggle to enjoy money. Yep. They can become controlling or judgmental about others' spending. Ooh.
It's definitely Ashley again.
Just listen to some past episodes with her and listen to how all the little jabs she makes at us, Jared. Of like, oh, Jill, with your money spending and your packages at your door. This person is also often labeled the responsible one in relationships or families. This person finds comfort in seeing savings grow and tends to prioritize future happiness over present enjoyment. So they're always like planning for the future.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not planning for the future, but I see spending differently than this person.
I do too.
Sure.
Yeah, this definitely is Ashley, which I really do appreciate and need to surround myself with people like that. She's really helped me, like in the part where it talks about, find comfort in seeing savings grow. So she kind of got me into like the Charles Schwab and like investing and kind of watching that money grow. And she's always like, really stern about do not take that money out. Like
Yes.
leave it in there, keep investing it and watch it grow. And so it's become exciting. The thrill is watching that. So I kind of get the saver's thrill is like, you know, seeing that money grow.
Yeah.
Which I used to think of like money that's not being spent is like being wasted. Right. But yeah, no, Ashley's like that. And like, she's on vacation right now. It's taking her a long time to plan this vacation.
Yes.
I'm like, to me, I would like be like in a week, be like, do I want to go to Florida? Sure. You know,
let's go.
But she's very like, plans it all out and thinks about it and stuff like that, which I think I really appreciate.
Yeah.
These people, but
I always think about relationships and money too. And if you marry the opposite, it kind of helps keep you in check. I did not marry the opposite. My husband like this is the same money personality as I am, or close to it. I'm not exactly sure. I think he's more of what you are, but yeah. And so us together, sometimes we're like, oh, okay, we need to actually set goals and figure things out with what we want to do.
I feel like that could actually be comforting though, because you're kind of in it together and then you can kind of like.
But our thing is, it's kind of like the avoidance thing, you know, that money, but we'll get into
the next part. So let's go through some pros and cons of the saver. So some pros is they're excellent planners, disciplined savers. They rarely overspend or carry unnecessary debt. They bring stability to relationships and households. And some cons is going to be they can become easily cautious or controlling. They struggle to enjoy money in the moment. They may miss out on opportunities by being too risk adverse.
Yeah.
When I think about sometimes, my grandma was a big saver, right? Okay. She grew up in the Depression, so I get it. But like when she got a couch, it was like covering it in plastic or covering it in like another towel or something, which just made it look so ugly and so uncomfortable. And I want to be like, it just sucked the joy out of it, right? To save the longevity of the couch.
I know. I've been to people's houses like this too, and I'll never forget. My grandma and I went to Florida one time and we visited a relative there. I took her on this like Florida tour to visit all of her class of 57 friends. And we stayed at one of our relatives' houses, and their house, they were neat freaks and kind of like very frugal and saved all their money, but they raked the carpet, or like if you like even to the point where like you can wear your shoes, but here are covers for your shoes. Have you ever experienced that? Me neither before this, but they were that way. They just like took care, and I take care of my things as well, but not to the point where, 10 years with a good couch is plenty of good years with the couch, and
enjoy the couch, right? As it is, without plastic.
Enjoy that plush carpet you have, right? No,
exactly. So
no, I love that. But if you've ever debated like for 3 days about buying a $20 candle, you might be a saver.
Yeah, exactly. But they have a great gift for financial peace, and they just need to remember that money is a tool for living and not just protecting. So which
enjoy life,
balance, right?
Enjoy life. All right.
Enjoy the fabric on the couch that you bought.
Yes. And going out and with friends and enjoying your money too is not going to break the bank, right? Honestly. These other people are like, those books that are like the coffee, you'll be a millionaire if you don't buy coffee, $5 coffees. I feel like savers might have that mentality too. Just enjoy, drink the coffee.
Buying the avocado toast is gonna really be able to buy a house, but that's it. But what's hilarious is actually literally has had the coffee conversation with me. Oh, you don't need to go buy coffee. You don't need to,
You don't need to do that. She's had it with me too.
I love it.
No, actually, Ashley, she'll shut her mouth and say, and let me pay. That's what she'll do. She'll shut her mouth and I'll be like, you guys want coffee?
When it comes to her, she will nickel and dime you for everything. I love it.
Oh, she's going to totally roast us.
She's going to croak when she listens to this. All right. So the next one, and this one I will throw myself under the bus, is the spender. Mm-hmm. So their motivation is enjoyment and expression. So here's some typical traits of the spender. They find joy and excitement in shopping or experiences. I love that.
I do too.
It's entertaining too, just to shop and
Yeah.
look for
I mean,
stuff.
the experiences part, this is why I thought I was the spender, is because I will spend money on experiences. Like that's
Yeah.
one thing. It's like
Yeah.
making memories and enjoying doing things with the people you love.
Right.
Like that is, I feel, a core value of mine.
Right.
So I thought for sure I was a spender because I like to spend money on experiences.
I'm the same way because I'm like, you have one life. I love to travel. Like I want to see the world. You know, I like those experiences. Like they stick with you, and they're to me they don't have. They're almost like, what's the word? Invaluable. Type,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're great. So another one's generous with friends and family. This is you, Jill. Jill and Tom, you guys are so generous with your friends and family. And, you know, I think that's something that's like special. And another one is believes money is meant to enhance life, not limit it.
Yes, this is you. That's you.
Yeah.
Like, spending's meant to enhance your life.
But it can sometimes get out of control, and I have to kind of like reel myself in. So it's all about like the balance of it. But yeah, you know, to me, it's like you, I want those experiences. I want those memories. I have a hard time saying like, no, if someone's like, want to go out to eat and hang out, you know, just because it just fills my tank up.
Yes. Yeah.
Is easily influenced by sales, moods, or social media.
Both of us are like, did you see that? Like, we'll come into the office and I'll be like, Jared, I saw this thing online and it does this, this, and this. And you're like, oh, I saw that too.
You're the worst influence on me because Jill's like Oprah's favorite things, you know, it'll sell out afterwards because you'll be like, I saw this and I love it. I'm like, well, crap, now I have to have it. Like, by the way, it's Amazon Prime Day.
I know. And I looked on there. There's nothing I want.
Okay.
Have you looked?
I haven't looked. I've been trying to not because I know when I get on there, first thing when you open that app, here are all the sales for this hour. And there's like, okay, do I really need another vacuum?
Right.
Yeah, anyway.
Also, one thing I noticed that they did this time is, so I'm the person that if I want to remember something, so I'll put it in my Amazon cart and I'll say, save this for later.
Okay.
So in that save for later section, now they'll target you. So they're like, these deals are happening now in your saved for later section of your cart.
Yeah.
Do you want to purchase them now? I'm like, no, I don't want to purchase them now, but good try. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I'm such a sucker for the targeted. Like if I'm, even just Google one thing, then like on Instagram or something, I will get, like a watch. Like if you just look up a watch, if you go to a watch website, then every single watch company has you targeted. And anyway,
I know.
They get dopamine rushes from purchases. I can't agree with that.
Yeah, and I do too.
Yeah, especially like if you feel like you're getting a deal or a sale or.
You know what
Goals cash
gets me, Jared? And I know this is you too, because I saw you post something about this recently. If you open something that you've ordered and the package is just like beautifully packaged.
Yeah, I did that last night.
Yeah. And it's aesthetically like you open it and there's like on the bottom of the box has like a quote or a message or like that gets me. Right here. I'm like, I love it. Yeah. I'm so happy with this purchase.
I got it. Was it called Diptyque candle? They put my initial stamped on the box. Did you see that? I had to take a picture of it. Yeah. I was like, that is customer service.
Yep. Anyway, happy with my purchase.
I mean, dopamine overload. Often says, I'll figure it out later when spending. Yeah. Sometimes.
You just blindly.
Yeah, right. Sometimes avoids tracking because they don't want to ruin the fun. Can feel guilt or regret afterwards, but not enough to fully stop. I will agree with that. Yeah. You can buy something and be like, I didn't need that.
Or like buyer's remorse over it. You're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But you're like, I did it and I don't. Yeah. But
then sometimes you don't have buyer's remorse. Like I bought a skeleton from Walmart.
Jared,
and
we
I
all
thought,
know you bought a
I know.
skeleton from Walmart.
I mean, he is like the my, and I'm like, I have no regrets for that.
Yep.
Best $25 I spent this.
I love that video you did though. It's like you need to give him a name, or have you done?
It's Jack.
Jack.
Jack the
Duh,
skeleton.
Of course it is. Of course it's Jack.
Yeah, and he's got different outfits this fall.
I
Like
love
it's
it.
it's a whole mood.
It is. You move him every day. I would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loves instant gratification over long-term savings. Unfortunately, that's me. Associates spending with freedom, reward, or love.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are definitely some pros and cons to this, and I feel like they're about this equal with the saver. You know, they go hand in hand. So the pros, let's talk about those.
Okay.
Spending brings you joy and generosity to life. Totally, 100%.
Yes.
This person sees money as a way to create memories and connection. Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
100%. This person often is optimistic and open to opportunity. Amen. That is you, Jared.
Yep.
Optimistic and open to opportunity. I love it. They're
I have a hard time saying no.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about those cons. Impulsive decisions can lead to stress or guilt later. I could see that. May confuse short-term happiness with long-term fulfillment. Okay. And this person can struggle with savings or financial planning. I can see where that would happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, on Amazon Prime Day, like today, if your cart is full of, 17 items like myself,
Yeah.
you might be a spender.
So I'm taking myself out of that category because mine are saved for later, right? Mine are saved for later.
Okay.
But I'm guaranteeing you there's at least 3 things in that box. So funny. Spenders have the most fun, but adding a little structure can help the fun last a little longer. I don't know. I kind of love the spender mentality.
It's fun. Yeah. So what's the next one?
Third money personality is the avoider. And I didn't even know there were more than 2 personalities. I thought you were either a saver or a spender. But the avoider, and this makes sense. So the core motivation for an avoider is comfort and denial. If I don't, their tagline is kind of like, if I don't look at it, it's not that bad. And I can totally see it. Some of their traits include feels overwhelmed by financial decisions, and I could relate to that a lot. I mean, when you are faced with a big financial decision, sometimes it's better to avoid. I can kind of put my dad as an avoider. Not that but he's just like, he sees big financial decisions and he would rather just stay where he is instead of like moving forward with something.
Well, I can even myself, I mean, I have a car, and it's a nice car, but I'm like, I really need to get out of it and get into maybe a cheaper payment, maybe a newer car like that. You know what I mean? Just something different, but it's such like a big thing. I've just been avoiding it, but eventually you can't
avoid
that. Cause I like having coverage and that kind of stuff. Eventually you lose your, service plans and that kind of stuff. And then you're at risk, but
right. Or I feel like this is when we talk about that person with their head in the sand and they would just rather keep going forward the way things are and not face the problem. This person puts off opening the bills and logging into their online banking, just don't feel motivated to do it. They let someone else handle the money in a relationship. So maybe their significant other takes care of all of the bills and they just kind of let them. And we all have talked about lately in some of the episodes that we've done recently, how that can become an issue. If you let somebody else take care of all the things, then what if something happens to that person?
Right.
Like you're just in the dark about everything. So this person often has subscriptions or charges they forget about. Now I can see myself in that. Like I need to get under control more often of those things, or I'll agree to something I don't. Have you ever been trapped when you're like watching Netflix or Amazon Prime is a good example? And they're like, you can watch the show if you subscribe to Stars. Here's a $5 add-on to your Amazon or your Prime subscription. I've done that before, and then I forget to turn it off after the free week. So
I am bad about that.
Yeah. So I can see avoiding going and doing that. This person also pays late fees, not because they don't have the money, but because they just simply forget or avoid checking it out. They avoid conversations about money out of fear or shame. They use distractions such as work, hobbies, scrolling instead of facing their finances. Again, I've put myself, and I feel like we can be a combination of all these things.
Oh, I know I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been there. I'm like, oh, I just don't want to do the work right now. I know I should budget and look at my bank account.
Well, it feels negative. And if you're like a, an optimistic person, you don't want negativity in your life.
Yeah. They may label themselves as bad with money. They feel like it's a temporary relief when they avoid, but anxiety builds over time. And they would rather deal with anything else than budgeting, or I've felt that before. Mm-hmm. So I also thought I could be this.
Yeah. So I like, I don't know if you're familiar with Enneagram personality types. So I'm a number 9, and 9s really struggle with like conflict and like facing conflict. I think the avoider sometimes sees finances as a form of conflict. Ooh. And so they just want to avoid it to keep the peace.
Right.
But I think you got to see your finances differently where it's not conflict or negative.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times so some of the pros is they're usually optimistic and adaptable, and they want that like positive, they want to stay in that place, right?
Sure.
They don't obsess over money or let it rule over their mood. Again, that positive mindset. Mm-hmm. They don't want anything negative. Often creative, people oriented, focused on living in the present. So the cons: late fees, missed payments, disorganization, anxiety builds from lack of awareness. I think even like with myself, what I've learned is like when you avoid conflict, and we had talked about this in a previous episode, when you avoid, conflict, it only creates more conflict and stress, right? So you have to face it.
The conflict doesn't go away. It's still going to be there. Yeah. You're just not facing it now. Your future self will have to face it.
Yeah, exactly. And often gives away financial control to others. So kind of delegating that to a spouse or whoever. But in a previous episode, we've learned that can be super dangerous. Yeah. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Avoiders, to kind of help them, or maybe a goal they should have, they don't need to become accountants. They just need to take baby steps. I feel like maybe it's one small money check in a week instead of avoiding your bank account or like checking in with your bank account or logging in. Yeah. Just maybe start with a small goal of logging in once a week, and that can totally just change their relationship with money.
I think consistency is key. Yeah. Even if you're like starting and you're like, Monday is the day that I
check in fresh.
Yeah.
I think also this is a good tip is if you associate something with negativity, or you said, like they like to be positive. If you pair it with something that you see as positive, so maybe they call it habit stacking, right? So maybe you look forward to your Monday coffee or your morning alone time. Maybe you can pair that with doing this one thing. So make it a positive experience rather than a negative one.
Yeah.
Could be good for those avoiders.
Yes, it is good. Sure. Love that. Should we move on to the next one?
Yes.
So this one's the dreamer. So a dreamer's core motivation is going to be hope and possibility. They think that everything's going to work out eventually. So some typical traits that a dreamer has is they are big visionaries and optimistic about the future. They believe in abundance and opportunity. They prefer big picture thinking rather than like the details.
Sure.
I definitely struggle with that as well. Like I'm a big visionary person, but when it comes to the steps, I struggle with that,
Yeah.
They're excited about new ideas, investments, or business ventures.
Can I just say, like, this is what I am, and this is why I am that way. So, Jared, you of all people know that, like, if I have this idea, I do really weird things. Like, I'll make purchases like igloos, garden igloos, I bought these. Remember, we did this whole igloo thing last winter, and it was a success.
You did it, yeah.
And it was really cool. But do you know when I purchased those igloos? It was 5 years prior to that because I had an idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be cool. It's not, I've been to and experienced it previously, and I really want to bring it to Marion. Well, I didn't do it. And then finally it came to fruition. But I spent a bunch of money early on.
Yeah.
Before I even had, had a plan in place. So this is me to a T.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same. Yeah. So like last year, cause I've been, fantasizing like starting like little side hustle businesses. Yeah. So I bought, the domain and all that stuff, but I've done nothing. And I literally just got a bill.
$400? Or is it more?
No, it was more than that because I got a late fee because I didn't pay it because I
forgot about it.
That these businesses existed. So I'm like, well, dang it, I really need to do that. And then now I'm still like, considering like, what's another like kind of side hustle thing I want to do, business start, but I just get stuck. And I've been so stuck on it for like years. I ended up doing like a Zoom meeting where like people that are in the same spot can come in and we can kind of encourage each other to get out of that because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially for visionaries.
Yes.
You can have the vision, but the details can kind of keep you
bogged down.
Yeah.
So. How did that call go, by the way? Was it fun?
It was really encouraging. We talked about like the struggles, the mental struggles that we have that kind of keep us held back. And everyone had the same exact ones, which is kind of like freeing because you're like, oh, we struggles with a lot of the same fears that keep us from moving forward and doubts and those kinds of things. And then some of the people on the call had really good like advice for other businesses and stuff like that. So it was cool to see them break connections and networking and so that was awesome.
That is so cool. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this. Fun.
Okay, so some more trades. Doesn't love tracking. It feels kind of restrictive or boring. They may overspend on quote future me goals or aesthetic upgrades.
Me.
Yeah, same.
All the time. Yeah.
They can underestimate the cost or timelines. I think this can be hard for someone, again, with a visionary, but they've never really started a business before, have done it. They don't know the ins and outs or the little things that can come up. Focuses more on potential than present realities. Loves talking about goals more than executing them. Yeah. So this is a struggle of mine. Again, like
one of my favorite things is like doing vision and goal. In my previous company that I worked for, it was like a big part of our quarterly life. Like we would write a quarterly vision and goals, and we would frame them and we would put them up. I worked for a store. We would put them on the wall. So even customers can walk in and see, this is Jill Olson and she's wants to wake up, not to an alarm, but to the sun rising. Like just weird things like that, right? So people would ask you about your goals and your visions. And this is me to a T. I could tell you what my goals are. I could tell you what my vision for my future life is. Now getting there is the hard part for me. It's like, yeah, of course I want this and this. And then how do I make that happen? What am I doing today to do that? Yeah, that's the hard part.
Well, I remember, you may not even remember this, Jill. This is like years and years ago. This is before I even worked at the bank. We met with Josh and I, and you walked us through this like vision thing. You go up this like elevator and you're like talking to you see your future self. What do they look like, sound like? What are they doing? How are people responding to them? Yeah. And that was so life-changing for me.
Well,
like it was really cool. And I'm like, this is what I want. Yeah. But again, I get the steps. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get to this point, Yeah. That was before ChatGPT.
That was before. Now we're just give us a step-by-step plan on how I can do this.
But it's good to have that.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one is they're often the motivator in partnerships and they're full of energy and ideas.
Yes.
So
amen. I love it. Let's talk about the pros and cons because I love the pros about this one. Yeah. They inspire others with confidence and creativity. 100%. pro is they take bold risks and sees potential where others don't. And I totally am that way. Do you ever go into a meeting and there's two types of people? There's ones that bring solutions, and I feel like this is kind of the dreamer. They when you go into a meeting, they ask you to bring ideas, and so you're bringing these ideas, and then there are those people that are on the opposite side shooting your ideas down.
Yeah.
I can totally see who the dreamers and then the other. Yeah. Anyway.
And you need both.
You need both, 100%.
Yeah, you definitely need both.
And this person, one of the pros about this kind of person is they bring energy and innovation to financial conversations. Well, that's cool. You can think of new ways to do things that maybe others haven't thought about. But the cons are these people can overlook short-term obligations for long-term dreams. They can also underestimate costs or timelines, and they need accountability to turn vision into reality.
It's me. I need it.
That accountability.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is like, if this is you, you're the one saying, okay, I'll really start saving, but you've been saying that since 2018. You might be a dreamer. Yeah. This is the year I'm going to start saving.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's me.
January 21st, you're no longer saving. Yeah.
So they are the heartbeat of really big ideas. They just need a good plan to kind of back up their passion. And that's me. I need a good plan.
Me too. So what were you, because I was a dreamer, and then the next I was a spender, and then third I was a avoider.
Yeah. So mine is kind of the opposite. My dominant one was spender, then dreamer, and then avoider.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like we said, you can be a blend of any of these four personalities. Yeah.
And like your goal isn't to change that, right? Because a lot of it's just part of the fabric of who you are. The goal is to understand it in a way that's properly manageable, and that so you're not like, getting put in a situation that's hurting you long term.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now's the fun part.
Yes, this is fun. I'm excited about this.
So we are going to give you a quiz, and if you have a sheet of paper or you're sitting at home and you can remember, there's only 8 questions. So if you can remember what your answers are, we're going to ask you 8 quick questions. Just write down or remember, and at the end we'll tell you what your spending or money personality is.
Yeah.
So first question, ready? You get an unexpected $500. What's your first move? A, you deposit it into savings immediately. B, you think, treat myself because I deserve it. 3, or C rather, I'll deal with it later, maybe next week. D, put it towards something exciting that I've been dreaming about.
It's good. Which one did you pick?
D.
I was C, actually.
Okay.
The next one is, how do you feel when you check your bank accounts? So there's A, calm. I already know what's in there. B, surprised. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's not. C, stressed. I avoid checking unless I absolutely have to. And then D, hopeful. I like to focus on my goals, not on the numbers.
I was B, surprised. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. I know when I'm getting close to what I don't want it to hit.
Yep, exact same.
Yep.
D.
Question number 3, what describes your relationship with budgeting? A, I love it. I track everything. B, I try, but fun always wins. Jared, no, I'm just kidding. C, I don't really have one. Budgets make me anxious. Or D, I think about the big picture, not the details. I was actually C for this one.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have one. Budgets make me anxious, and they do.
I did B. I try. Fun always wins.
See, I got it right. There's your personality.
Yep. Okay, number 4. When friends invite you out for an unplanned dinner, there's A, I check my budget before I say yes.
Ashley.
Yes, definitely Ashley. There's B, I'm in. Life's too short to say no.
Jared.
Me. C, I avoid responding until the last minute. And then D, I say yes and suggest we plan something even bigger next time.
That's me. Let's go all out.
I love it.
It's so funny. Okay, question 5. How do you feel about credit cards? A, it's a necessary tool. I pay it off each month. B, it's a safety net or sometimes a temptation. C, intimidating. I'd rather not think about them. Or D, helpful for building my future if I use them wisely. D. D for sure. It's a tool.
D for me. Yep.
But if I didn't work where I work, I don't know if I would have selected D.
What do you
I
think
would
you
have been,
worked?
because I mean, I would be, intimidating. I'd rather not use them, or like, I don't know enough about credit cards. I'd rather avoid them, or.
Well, yeah, that's true. I didn't have a credit card until like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yep. I remember that
35.
journey.
Like I was always like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to. Yeah. But then people are like, well, you can get flyer points. You can get, again, back to the experiences,
Right.
that kind of stuff. So then I'm like, oh yeah, then that makes sense.
Totally.
All right. Number 6. What motivates you most of your money decisions? A, security. I want to feel safe and prepared. B, enjoyment. I want to live fully. C, avoidance. I don't want to feel stressed. D, vision. I want to create something bigger for myself or my family.
I was a D.
Okay. Mine's
you?
B, enjoyment. I
enjoyment.
just want to live fully. Yep.
I see that. Okay. 7. How do you handle big purchases? This is a fun one. A, I research, plan, and save first. B, I buy it if it feels right. You only live once. C, I procrastinate or ignore it until I have no other choice. That's my dad. D, I imagine how it fits into my future life, even if I don't have the money yet. And I put B for this one. I buy it if it feels right. You only live once. YOLO.
I put D, but honestly, I think I might be more B that I think about it.
And I think I might be more D. I don't know.
We can trade.
But yeah, that's how, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. All right. So number 8, your biggest financial fear is A, not having enough saved for an emergency. B, missing out on experiences or fun. C, facing how bad things might really be. And D, never reaching the life I dreamed of.
D.
Mine was actually A. I realized when it comes to finances, my fear is like if something comes up, I'm gonna, not have enough.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'm like,
But yeah,
D's like, what am I saving all this for? If
that's
I
good.
don't know,
That's good.
if I can't
Sure.
reach my dream, my
That's
eventual
good.
dream, like I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm doing this for. That's my biggest fear.
love it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the results. So if you count up all the letters, so I was mostly D, Jared was mostly B's. If you're mostly A's, you're the saver. You love security, structure, and planning. You find comfort in knowing exactly where your money goes. But remember, it's okay to spend money on joy too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take the plastic off the couch.
Yes.
All right. And then if you're mainly B's, like myself, the spender, you see money as a way to express yourself and enjoy life. Your enthusiasm is contagious, but try adding a touch of planning to help keep that freedom long term.
Yes.
Good.
If you are mostly C's, you're the avoider. You'd rather not think about money, but the more you avoid it, the more stressful it feels. So start small. One check-in at a time can transform your confidence.
Good.
Yeah.
And then lastly, if you mainly had D's, the dreamer, you think big, you see potential, and you believe everything will work out. You inspire others, but structure and accountability will turn your dreams into reality. So if you need to join the little Zoom support group that I started a couple weeks ago, hit me up.
And just so you know, there's no better personality or money personality than the other. It just, like Jared said at the beginning of this episode, you just now have know better how to deal with how your personality is.
And I think it's healthy, like not just identifying yourself, but identify people that you know that are part of, you really need all of those.
Yeah.
Like I need the savers in my life to hold me accountable. And I need like the people that are more like administrative, because I am a big dreamer, to say like, oh, you're not thinking of A, B, C, D, and E, you know, that kind of stuff. So think of like, who are the people that you can surround yourself with that can help whatever balance where you're at. Yeah.
Understanding like your spending behaviors and your people around you spending behaviors too.
Yeah.
It can help you live more in harmony with those people. Like I'm just thinking of a situation where you're married to someone who is opposite of you. You know, you can really figure out what motivates them and what doesn't when it comes to money, and having goals that you can achieve together.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know that about each other, you're working in opposite directions and you'll never reach those goals.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's good.
So interesting. I love it.
This is fun.
Yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this today, and maybe you actually learned something about your spending personality, and now you know which one of the 4 traits you are.
I'm a spender. Yeah. So as soon as I get off here, I'm hopping on Amazon Prime. No, just kidding. I'm not going to do it.
Avoid it, Jared. Don't add to cart. No. We thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.
So Jill, where do we go from here?
Be sure to check out our show notes for this episode, and also be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our newsletter. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.